What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We have in our top four Texas's own Team Yeets, Logan Kaplan versus the dank Yu-Gi-Oh! Player 6'9", what a screen name, Daniel Cunningham, one of the most up-and-coming duelists, topped Atlanta. He topped, got second actually at the ARG, losing only to Calvin Tahan when he went on his magical run with the Super Quantals. And we've got a real one here. Oh, look at that. Dan Cunningham, the next level RPS. Real men stick with rocks.
I wanna shout out the stream watcher being like, this is totally gonna be the Demise Stun Mirror match. So you guys are in for a whole lot of Demise the King of Armageddon. Right, John? It's been about a month since we streamed that, right?
Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks.
Totally.
I think he's talking about Demise Stun, though.
Just accept it.
So, it looks like Daniel Cunningham
opened up really bad.
Yeah, donkey. But this means he's going to be able to pop his own scale and put a new one in.
Oh, no, definitely. But, like, not seeing that Scroll Acrobat turn 1.
But the thing is, most people aren't main decking field wipes. So, we'll see what comes out of this.
Yeah, Dan is Dan Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Making sure I got these lists.
Team Yeet is the Texas Austin team.
Alright, I'm just making sure I got these pulled up nice and correct. So I can see what I'm dealing with. I'm not going to talk about decks specifically, but looking at both decks, there's a lot of tech the way it looks here. I definitely think that probably these tech choices are going to make or break this game the way it looks. I don't know if you really caught that, John, when you were looking at these.
I actually haven't really got to look at Dan's but yeah, it's definitely centric towards certain strategies for both of them. And, like, I don't know how to describe it. I want to call... Oh, man, double back row and a Joker.
Did he not do the Joker?
He normal summoned Donkey.
Oh, I mean, the Pendulum Sorcerer.
He didn't have another scale. He has 2 back rows, so he has to.
Ugh.
Yeah, he's stuck in this situation until next turn. And he still doesn't really have a follow-up play if these 2 back rows get taken care of.
Okay. Logan is the one that sent me the really bad one from his phone. Okay.
Yeah. So, Logan Kaplan, viewing his extra deck to start thinking, what do I want to waste into these back rows? What am I going to unload? We got some hee-haw. We got a Vector, depending on the matchup, could be hindering him. And it looks like Vector may be hindering him as he puts down a Skull Crobat. But it's Chaos Trap Hole anyways.
Yeah, losing your normal summon here to Chaos Trap Hole definitely going to be an issue.
Well, losing Joker, no less, when your opponent has a Joker loaded.
Also, I guess I can forgive Dan for leaving the Vector up. The issue here is, though, it's game 1 and you don't know what you're playing against.
Well,
so,
you leave it up no matter what. If it gets Twin Twister, it goes to your extra. Like, what's going to happen to it to get rid of, like, Castell?
I don't know, I just figured having a Pendulum Sorcerer to search for, like, Monkey and Lizard.
He's going to load his Sorcerer. This is broken. Sky Iris is going to load Sorcerer into his extra for him, and he's going to search another scale.
Oh no, Logan's definitely got the advantage here with Iris.
Well, if that's another strike/warning card down, he's still in trouble.
That is true, but the other thing is, Logan gets the full advantage of the broken unicorn.
So we've got the 3 and 5, 4s only. So he's gonna bait that last back row, and it is. So now, if he does have a back row, geesh. Well, he seems in a lot better of a position than we might have thought, but he only has the 1 card in hand to the Skull Crobat touching down here, and we've got a
I agree. This hum is either really good or really bad.
So the reason it's a is if he has a proper scale, a high scale, he can pop his Vector and put a scale and Pendulum Summon 2 out now and just do a lot of damage. And all that can be loaded back is the Sky Iris pop for probably a Unicorn, and then whatever he top decks. But either way, it's not the worst position, but it depends how much. If he drew a high scale, he can really push out damage, and it looks like he didn't.
I think Logan's in a really good position right now.
I'm actually kind of surprised leaving Donkey in attack just to do the 1,000 when he's already at 4K. That 2,000 booty's not a joke when your opponent doesn't have much going on. Like, there is a Silver Claw.
So why do you not Pendulum out the Joker that's in his extra deck?
He can't. He has 2/3 scales.
Oh.
That's what I was saying. In order to get his Pendulum Summon, he would have to have a high scale. Master would have to pop Vector, and he'd have to place his high scale down.
This entire time I've been thinking he had good scales.
No, Master and Vector. You're thinking Rector, which is understandable.
Okay, well that explains why my line of thinking was here comes the fucking broken Odd Eyes Unicorn of Death.
Yeah, this is the cutest death you'll ever face. And also loaded, again, as noted, a free monster into his extra, but no tricky attack of any kind is going to come. If he has an actual Odd Eyes in his hand as 2, this could be game, since that Donkey's in attack. That would be 3,000 damage plus the 18.
I think that's pretty broken.
And he has the proper scale for Odd Eyes, too. That would just be broken, like the full punish, if he has Odd Eyes. But nope, it is a Vector. So he's just going to put... Oh, never mind. He's going to overlay. Oh! Is that game? That is game exact. Ah!
Wow.
Don't tell anyone about Utopia. Logan Kaplan taking game 1. But we always like to take this time to thank TrollandToad.com. Without them, this tournament series would not be possible. All prizes are in their credit. And for the first time, we're going to get to see somebody walk away with $200 in their store credit.
I want to take a couple of minutes here to just analyze a couple of things I'm seeing here. Looking at Dan's list, Dan looks like he should have had a much better game 1 than what we just seen from him, but I believe he got really bad beats in his opening hand. Looks like we're going to be seeing some pretty interesting side deck coming in from both players here. Probably going to make this matchup either a lot better or a lot worse for both of them. So, we'll have to wait and see.
I'm going to shout out on this video during this wait time too, because I know a lot of duels like to fast forward during it anyways. I really like Empty Jar's comics. I did a community spotlight on him today. So shout out to anybody doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Webcomics.
Alright, who's going first? It is Dan.
Ooh, Abductor. So that's anybody's spells will give it counters.
Yay, now I can talk about Abductor. Abductor looks like it's one of the tech choices that he's been opting to play in his deck.
Well, Abductor was also played, I believe, in the winner of YCS Houston's deck, so it's been seen a lot more in Pendulums lately.
What is up with Dan opening up, like, super...
Oh,
this is done.
It's not done, but it's pretty free right now.
Anyone else remember Wavering Heights?
Alright, so we have a second before Luster even gets to activate its effect.
Twin Twister would be pretty disgusting here, but... Does Abductor pop itself when it searches? No, it's just once per turn remove 3. Ooh, that's dirty.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a max limit of 3 on it either, so...
Ooh, MST. That means he probably has a Chaos Trap or something that's really going to hinder his Luster ever getting out. And Sorcerer is now locked in scale instead of Penduluming out, so he can't really force back rows either, because both monsters that would force back rows are already gone. Oh!
Never mind.
No, that's the less optimal, but he's going to have to use it to force a back row without the Luster, likely, or go for it all. Oh, he's going to pop the Abductor instead and just lock his scales. Whew! Oh, Twin Twisters instead. Is that last back row real? Does Logan Kaplan have scales?
He doesn't have anything to Pendulum. That's another problem.
Does he have a way to kill this abductor?
This abductor is going to get the mileage now.
Well, it's going to get one right here. If it wasn't a once per turn effect, he'd be searching twice.
I know, right? Well, the fact that it doesn't have a max counter limit.
So
like
what do you
card.
search here since you seem to be in an okay position? Do you search the
Back.
Joker?
All the way.
Really? That is interesting.
Well, yeah, it's 1800. It eats a back row. See? Right there.
Yeah.
Joker did his job. Your opponent's strike is gone. You know your opponent has to draw...
What if you just said, hold on, no effects?
Oh, well, I mean, you know he's real sharking at that point.
No, he... Legitimately, you should ask effect before you just flip the strike. Even if we know it's correct play. Our duelist should take their time.
I think both of these players are respectable and they're right that they wouldn't do that.
I just think it'd be hilarious, though. No.
So do you attempt to play pendulum scales here, knowing that your opponent has an abductor?
If it's a pendulum scale that can take care of it, like Vector, I would go ahead and play a Vector up.
Vector negates the effects, right? So does it lose the counters?
No, it does not lose the... Ooh, it does not lose the counters.
Nope, but that thing's going to 3 counters now.
Yeah, but it's gonna be Master or Rector here. I assume Rector. Or Vector. Yeah,
I mean,
Vector.
Who's to say we don't have another Twin Twisty down back there?
I mean, if he does, he's the man, but then he has no real back row, and he's just going to get stomped this turn. Because either if he gets the Master, he gets to... yep, Odd Master. He gets to go ahead and force it right here. Summon? Oh, okay. Scale.
He's got to have the other scale.
Well, he's going to pop it. He's going to pop... yeah, for free. And oh, let the games begin. And proper scale already set up. His scales are protected from MST or Twin Twister by Iris. But now, how much do you commit to this pendulum summon? 3. Jeez.
Fuck it. No fear.
I won game 1. Nah, he's leaving Luster. And there is a Chaos Trapple. So the summon of Sorcerer is fine. What do you pop here? Both scales, alright. Leaving Dan with just 1 card, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say this is getting locked up rather fast. He can even pot a Greed after this if he likes.
This is...
He has a normal summon, so he's going to punch in probably the extra 1800 damage too. Because he drew his one of Face-Off. Face-Off and Luster. He's definitely seeing the more optimal cards.
We haven't seen a lot of his tech choices, though, in this matchup. Which is kind of sad. Because he's got a lot of interesting ones in his deck.
So instead of guaranteeing a scale, it looks like he is going for the Pot of Greed play, which I agree with. If you draw any real back row, you've shut this duel entirely down. Oh, okay. Never mind. Forget me. He's going to leave himself with a scale and an attempt at 1 draw.
Wanna see some of this goo he's got.
No, he still has his search. But he's just going to check to make sure his damage is fine. Main phase 2.
Throw down that Gaga Cowboy.
Bah! I am wondering why he's overlaying here. Do you just make regular Utopia?
Magister.
True.
Magister is definitely not a bad choice here.
Yeah, summon Magister, summon a Master. It's just really big to give up your Sorcerer like that. When you can
he can search it.
Ooh, we're both wrong. Giant Hand. You want to catch these? And here's the search.
Isn't the opponent's scroll back on, though?
It doesn't. He can stop a Sorcerer. He can stop almost any legitimate play of coming back. It's a wall, and he has a loaded scale and loaded summon. So, for his opponent to do anything, he has to use both those cards as scales in hand. and that would leave no back row or a way to deal with both the hand and his scales. Basically, he's made it to where 2 cards basically cannot stop him.
After this, we're going to discuss a couple of things about these decks.
Master. So, yeah, this is actually one of the best scales for him. He can pop the Guitar Turtle. Oh, no, he can't because Sky Iris, right?
I believe so.
So he would have to deal with Sky Iris and... what's he have loaded? 2 monsters? The Joker and the Doctor?
Yeah, I mean, he can make a rank 4.
Yeah, there's no attack boost from his scales.
I mean, you lose your giant hand, but then you get Ignistered next turn, which you probably just lose the game.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely a situation where it looks like Team Yeet Zone is moving on, unless we're about to get a big surprise. I mean, he can just make Utopia Lightning attack overhand, but yeah, it's going to get Ignistered next turn. And like we said, that he can't pop his scales thanks to Sky Iris, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Who knew that Sky Iris did more than just one thing?
Cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects, period. So, like, if you have a Sky Iris up, your opponent can't even target with your own Pendulum monster with Ignister. Well, Magician, Performer Pal, or Odd Eyes. What a setup. What a good... That was good. Like, no matter what 2 cards happened, this giant hand was really, really well thought out.
It was really well thought out, and it gets him back to the next turn. It's just a shame that, like, Ignister just ends this game so easily.
Yeah, pop, shuffle. Bop, bop.
I'm looking at Dan's extra deck, and this is not looking good. Like, for the scenario of living through an Ignister, there's not much.
Shoutouts to Krillin26, I believe our first donor ever, watching this on Xbox One. Or one of our first donors ever. Our first donor ever was Prince Blue Blood.
What if he just makes a giant hand?
A giant hand, a giant hand. Then he just gets attacked over an Ignister main phase, dude.
Well, can't giant hand?
I mean, but there's 2,000 defense.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what's he gonna do next turn? Ignister's gonna come out.
Ignister ends this game either way, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dan's obviously thinking, but like, there's nothing he can do. Like, at this point, I almost consider it like, no offense. Like, I know you're thinking of and searching for every option, but like, there's nothing you can do here.
I mean, his extra deck tree is not the best for this. He put a lot more dedication into other matchups, and he doesn't really have a generic answer here. I mean, Castell, okay, sure, 2000, giant hand negates it. You can't do anything about your opponent's scales because of Iris, like we've said. There's nothing for a generic board wipe because Excite Knight's banned. Like, you're in a pretty trash situation, and it's really disappointing.
Odd Eyes just doing his thing. And here, finally, it's the overlay. What do we do, Duelist? Giant hand, you're right. So, this basically, I think, nope, it doesn't even stop the Ignister. Giant Hand's just going to expend itself on the Giant Hand.
Or you go Ignister, activate effect, your opponent giant hands it, and then you activate your giant hand on your opponent.
That's what I was saying.
To negate that.
That's what I was saying. So now Ignister's still going to come out all the same. Gonna pop
Shout out to PS4.
Jesus.
Where the 4th guy at, though?
He's probably thinking, hee-haw.
Yo, where is this hot goo from?
What card were you hoping for? For our YouTube people, real quick.
Oh, give me a sec here. For looking at this, definitely the advantage should have been to Dan, because Dan's playing the more generic build. Looking at Yeet's build, it looks a little bit more clunky. There's a lot more tech from Mr. Logan over here. He's playing Ignite Reload and double of the fusion. Neither player saw Max C, which Logan was maxing out on, or not Logan. Dan was maxing out on. Logan was playing 2. It was also interesting to see their trap lineup: 3 Chaos, 1 Warning from Dan, and then we had the 4 Solemns over here from Logan. But definitely looking at the list, Dan's looked a lot better on paper, but it looked like in application it just got fucking shreked.
Well, the other thing you have to recall here is that Ignite Reload's been being played in more to actually stabilize out hands and give your bad hands a second chance. And then the other thing is, as we saw when Dan played his Chaos Trap Hole in this game, that Sorcerer creeped on through.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing is, looking at Dan's list, Dan was also playing 2 Castell and 2 Dweller, which you could have probably dedicated to other things for more generic matchups. Yes, I understand you want those cards, especially Dweller, for possibly BA and Cosmo, but unfortunately it didn't pan out so well.
2 hands, 1 duel.